continuing on these Christmas favorite Christmas films. Um, what happens when you take a rising comedy star, a rising director, and several notable cast members, and it's inspired by the Christmas classics of Rankin Bass? Who are Rankin Bass? Well, you'll find out. The film is Elf, starring Will Ferrell, James Caan, Mary Steenburgen, Bob Newhart, Ed Asner, and Zooey Deschanel. Yeah. So let's get into this film, shall we? The film was inspired by the Rankin Bass classics of the 1960s. Now, who is Rankin Bass, you may ask? Well, one of them just recently got criticized for being about bullying. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Frosty the Snowman, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, the claymation cartoons that we see every year. It's not based on them, but it's influenced by them because the entire scenes in the North Pole, some of the characters are completely clay animated. And of course, if you don't know the story, it's about a man by the name of Buddy, he thinks he's an elf. Well, that's because he was adopted by an elf in like 30 years ago. He crawled into Santa's bag while Santa was visiting an orphanage. While Santa just couldn't take him back, he gave him to one of his elves, played by Bob Newhart. And Bob Newhart's character raises him to an adulthood, but then he has to be sent back to where he came from because he's not an elf. They revealed to him that he's not an elf, and his family is, particularly his real life father, is on the naughty list. And so his real life father is played by James Caan, and James Caan works for a publishing agency. They publish children's books and things of that nature, books for children, and he has no Christmas spirit. Matter of fact, he's gone so far as to not believe in Christmas. He thinks when he meets up with Buddy, he thinks that he's completely insane, and of course, Buddy is behaving like an elf. He's decorating like crazy, consumes nothing but sugar, completely hyperactive and off the wall, and doesn't think like you and I do. And of course, by the end of the movie, Buddy ends up winning his father and saving Christmas. This movie came out of, to me, it just came out of nowhere for me, and it was well advertised. It was a big year for Will Ferrell that year. I remember going to the theater and actually seeing the trailer for Elf, but there was also a couple other movies that he was in that they were also advertising as well. It was a big year for him, and this, I think, is the film that put him on the map, so to speak, as being a certified comedy movie star. Of course, when I saw the film, I did not see it in the theater. I saw it when it came out on DVD. And the film, it just completely just made me laugh. It has so much heart behind it. Because even though Buddy, he is a little annoying, he's very, you can't hate him. it's it's a movie that kind of surprises me on how well done it was. Um, it it's just a movie that makes me laugh, especially the scene where um, Peter Dinklage has a small part in this movie, and when Will Ferrell meets Peter Dinklage in his character, he refers to him as an elf, and and Peter Dinklage drop kicks him off a table, which is hilarious, and it's it's just a movie that's really funny, and it does have so much heart behind it, and it's just a fun movie to watch, and it just makes you laugh. Um, and then of course James Caan, Mary Steenburgen, they're all great in this movie. Ed Asner is a great Santa Claus. Um, Bob Newhart and playing the Papa Elf, and it's just a really great holiday fun movie. Um, a comedy that quickly became a movie that gets played every year. You have to watch Elf. It's become among Christmas classic movies that get played every year. Now there are some movies I think get played a little too much, which I'll get into a little bit later on. But yeah, Elf here on K Dog's Movie Reviews. I think I'm going to review one of those movies that gets played every year, nonstop. Um, so you'll have to tune in and see what that is. So from me to you, see you later.